As a mentor, we're there to really be beside them and help cheer them on.
For me, what I get out of SCORE is just the thrill of being able to see somebody else succeed. When I sit down with a client for the first time, one of the things I always say is, we're not going to solve everything today in this first session.
What I do is I really make sure that they understand that the commitment is on their side. I'm here for you. However, we have to keep not just communicating, but effective communication.
We are not here to promote our own businesses if we have them.
The one thing I try to stress when I meet with a SCORE client for the first time is that we are now a team.
I am in the stands and they're running that 200 meter and I'm waiting for them to cross that finish line to say, you know what, this business plan is done. And then I'm cheering them on to say, what's the next thing you want to work on? And kind of holding them accountable to what their desire for their business is and what they wanted to do.
During the first session with a client, I always indicate that I don't know everything about everything, despite the fact that I tell my husband I do.
So I tell him, if I'm not the right mentor for you, I'll help you find someone who is. I have a certain wheelhouse that I'm comfortable with, and let's see if it really fits into what your needs are.
So I'll bring in another co-mentor or two as we progress, because we really want to look at their whole business, not necessarily just the one aspect that they felt they wanted help with.
I always start a session with a new client by saying, as you know, there's a difference between being a mentor and being a consultant. If you were to hire me as a consultant, you would expect me to roll up my sleeves and work with you, and you would pay me for that. As mentors, we try to teach you how to do the things you don't know how to do already so you can use them to make your business successful.
Eliminate expectations that are not realistic right away. And I think that's by being honest with your clients and telling them up front, hey, I will be honest with you.
Convince them that they can succeed. That's what mentoring is about. And that's what will get you to enjoy your relationship with those people.
So what qualities does a SCORE mentor need? I find the biggest quality is a genuine caring for the individual that they work with. If they really do care, they have that genuine caring attitude, that is number one in the book.
When I came into SCORE, I expected there to be a multi-step process that every client had to go through with SCORE. To my surprise, there wasn't such a process. The process was to listen to our clients and find out where they're at. And what a freeing thing that is.
So many new clients don't have an idea. And you're listening to try and determine what is it you really want to do. And that's what you're trying to help them focus in on.
When I'm talking with a client for the first time, especially those who are just sort of putting that voice to the idea, I want them to understand that we are now a team and I am going to be a cheerleader for them and encourage them as much as I possibly can.
You know, as a mentor, the first interaction I have with new clients is to create a bridge and a bond between us and a comfort level so that they're very comfortable in talking to me about what it is they want to do.
One of my roles is to convert a one-shot client who thinks he or she has a simple question into a long-term client.
We strive to make sure that a client who gets assigned is responded to within 24 hours. The rule is basically 48 hours, but we try to say 24 hours.
Clients like us want to have a good line of communication. So they need quick response from SCORE mentors, and they need to feel like they're being heard.
From the client's perspective, as a client, I wanted to feel heard. I wanted to know that when I went to my mentor, he or she listened to me.
With my clients, I make sure that I reach out to them any way as possible, like emails. And I just ask them, what would be the best way for us to communicate?
When I get emails from people, I respond right away. I don't want them to sit and wonder what happened, did it go through or not? So it's important to me to set up a line of communication as rapidly as possible.
It's such a great back and forth. It isn't in one direction. We learn from our clients, and our clients learn from us. And I feel that I'm constantly growing now as a person, as a SCORE mentor.
As mentors, we have to make sure that we're continuously delivering a great experience for our clients.
Mentors at SCORE are evaluated automatically by our system, by the Engage system, so that when we put in our first session and our fourth session with a client, there's automatically an email that's generated and sent to the client.
Did you listen to their problem or their challenge? Did you give them good information or good insight? And were you empathetic, and were you able to provide knowledge and empathy and utilize the SLATE method to assist that client?
And I find it really valuable because I learn the things that I'm doing well and the things that I could use improvement on. And the next time I feed that back into my mentoring sessions.
Lenore is one of my favorite clients since I've joined SCORE, which was in 2017. She was in one store selling her spices when we started mentoring. Now she's in dozens of stores and selling online.
Gary has a really wonderful network. He's very well connected. And so whenever I have a challenge that he doesn't immediately have the answer to, he's able to pull from his wide network to help me help provide solutions.
Weigh the pros and cons of things, and then I'll leave it to her to make the decision, but we've sort of explored all the various options that are out there, and then she has a little better framework from which to make a decision.
Without having such a strong system, SCORE and SCORE mentors, K&K Painting and More would not, I can promise you that, would not be where we are today.
My SCORE mentor, Lloyd, he actually cares about my business. He cares about my welfare.
I listened to what John needed, and in turn, John heard me. There was just this natural affinity for each other.
He cares that I'm successful. He listens to what I have to say. Not just, listen, okay, this is what we're going to do, but listens with great intent and challenges me many times on my own thought process.
I think the success of the relationship between John and me was that we clicked.